Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sajwa and this is
C Chronicles.
And welcome back. Thank you so much for the support so far. We are grateful.
Absolutely.
So in this video, we want to discuss various fragrances in our collection which we believe are 10 over 10. When we talk about 10 over 10 fragrances, these are fragrances which are quite affordable. They're going to give you the compliments, or most likely will give you the compliments. They also are quite mass appealing. Not all of them might be mass appealing to some particular group of persons, but to us they are quite, mass appealing. People compliment us on them. So I have 5 from my collection, and C also has 5 from her collection that we are going to discuss. So I'll let you start. Which ones?
My very first one is going to be this chippy. I don't know if you have smelt this. Okay, no. Nadine by Wataniah. This is a fragrance I featured on my channel not so long ago. When I bought this fragrance, I didn't think much of it. I just thought it's going to be one of those maybe aquatic fragrances. And the big surprise about it is if you smell it on the nozzle there, what you smell there is not exactly how the fragrance develops like. When I actually sprayed it for the first time, I was conflicted. I thought it's giving me, like bathroom cleaner vibes. It's giving me, I don't know, there was something. What are you smelling?
It reminds me, even from without spraying, it reminds me of Orientica Melodie. Is it Melodie or Melodia? The green bottle,
You have a nose.
It reminds me of that so much.
You have a trained nose.
It's like lime lemony,
exactly,
vanilla,
yes.
Almost even like Devotion, sort of,
yes,
like Devotion-esque, but for the most part it reminds me of Orientica's melody.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
and that I'm happy that you actually get it offset, because I couldn't figure this out. In fact, I started getting, it was in the hour mark, because I've smelled Melodie, the Orientica, but I've never actually had it in my collection. And then when I was explaining this, I was at pains saying it feels like a fusion of Love Don't Be Shy and some aromatic whatever and whatever. And then somebody came in the comment section and said, you are sort of describing Sintra. And that melody has been likened to Sintra. So this, guys, to me is a 10 over 10. It's a cheapie. It costs less, of course. It costs way less than Sintra. It lasts long. It costs way less more than Orientica. Not that I have anything against those houses, but I'm saying I was not expecting a pleasant surprise from Wataniah. Wataniah is a house that I just used to look at with a side eye until, I picked a few bottles and they impressed me. So this is definitely a 10 over 10 performance. Everything. This lasts till the next wash. So I recommend this. If you see this bottle, guys, grab it. The reason why people are not buying it is it's maybe confusing them. They think maybe it's a, just looking at it, you think maybe it's a Dylan Blue. Or it's nothing to do. This is just one of those very good concentrated juices.
You're the first person I'm seeing this, I don't think I've seen the video you've already uploaded about this one, but that is I got that Melodia, Centra or Sintra impression like right away,
Yes,
it's a good one. How much did you pick it?
I picked this one up for $11.
Maybe I have to get one before I leave.
Yes, I can definitely send for this one.
Yes,
I can give you this one and replace it, because
I need one.
When I replace it, I'm going to buy 2 bottles. Because this is one fragrance. It shocked me. I was not expecting that. And I was like, and it gets better and better and better. So definitely try this. It's a 10 over 10 for me. And it's my number 1.
Oh, yeah. That's a 10 over 10.
Nadine.
Price.
Nadine by Wataniah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let me go with one here, and that is going to be an obvious choice for me. December Vanilla by Paris Corner. This one is so phenomenal. I like that intoxicating creme brulee. It gives me a realistic creme brulee than other creme brulee fragrances I have come across. That rum, that patchouli, that sugar, that intensity. Any single time I wear this, it never fails to give me compliments. I get compliments like every single time. It's very beautiful. I like that thickness, that richness that the fragrance by itself has. It stays forever on my clothes. I like it. I love it myself, and anytime I wear, I get compliments. So the price is too, I think the price is right when it comes to this, now it's about 30 something.
Yeah I couldn't wait for mine. I went on and sourced it from the UK and whatever, so it was quite expensive on my part, but now the prices have gone significantly down, and it's definitely a fragrance that I can see myself personally repurchasing. You know, if for instance it ran out, I would purchase over and over again. It's a very well made fragrance, and I can see why it qualifies on your
very well made.
You know, your 10 over 10.
It.
Nice
and it's
fragrance.
also very, very different from a lot of norms, you know,
exactly.
A lot of the norms.
Yes, a lot.
Okay. All right, so
my next one is going to be, okay, let me put this one. I actually wore this one to the airport to pick you up.
Okay.
And, you know, when I got this fragrance, this is Maison Alhambra's Montaigne Coco. I knew this fragrance was a bit familiar, but what I was getting was more of the Utopia Vanilla Coco than, you know, what you guys told me when I did the review, because a lot of you guys said, no, it's actually a Mancera Coco Vanille or something. Yes. And then when I looked up Mancera Coco Vanille, I did notice that the Utopia Vanilla Coco by Keali actually also feels very similar to that. I love this fragrance, guys. Another cheapie that is underrated. But the only thing I have to caution you on this one is it's very coconut forward. You know, it's very much on the coconut, creamy, but not as Kaid Alpha Sun coconutty, you know. And when I got this Kaid Alpha Sun, the unlimited edition, I knew I kind of wanted to like it, but there was something that was just doing too much. Yeah. It was too heady, it was too pushy, it was choking me out. I'm still okay having it in my collection, but it's not really a first choice. But what Maison Alhambra did with this one, it's not that the two are similar. I'm just talking about the interpretation of the coconut. The interpretation of the coconut in this fragrance, guys, is one that if you love coconut fragrances, you need this cheapie. Absolutely. And this is not a paid promotion. I'm not trying to market this. I'm just saying for the price and what you get and the lasting power, it's underrated. This to me is a 10 over 10, but just make sure you love coconut, because that's going to be on the forefront. A very tropical type of feel, sun-tanny type of feel, and it's different enough to own, although it has, you know, that staple DNA where you get most coconut milky fragrances, but it's different enough to own. And for the price, I think don't miss out on this one, guys, just in case Maison Alhambra discontinue it. So this is a 10 over 10
myself,
yeah,
so
it's a 10 over 10 for me.
Do that. Okay. Okay, so my next one is going to be from Paris Corner again, and this, you got to try this, right?
I did.
How do you feel about North Stag expression?
Ooh, you know what happened? I went to Louis Vuitton when I was in South Africa, and I passed through. I actually have a vlog that I dropped where I was in Louis Vuitton testing fragrances. Afternoon Swim was one fragrance that caught my eye, my interest, but I didn't get. Well, I wasn't going to splurge on Afternoon Swim simply because it has like a familiarity to it. You know, the fact that it's very citric in nature, very zesty, you know, that type of thing. But at the same time, there is a complexity to it that makes it smell so nice. But the reason why I was just guarded was because it was a Louis Vuitton and I wasn't going to spend that much money. Now, you came with not stage. Okay, I don't know whether stage or stag. I don't know. Quatre, number 4. This fragrance is nice. It's beautiful. I actually have done a review of it. I can see why you would give this one a 10 over 10. Yeah. Gorgeous citrus fragrance, not screechy, because with citruses, it can border on screechy sometimes. But this,
sweet.
You have
very
taste.
Sweet, very lovely,
beautiful.
Quite simple, you know, quite simple on the go. You don't need to think about it, you know. It's one of those fragrances I think I'm also going to repurchase, you know. I'm also going to
How much did you buy it for?
This was in Ghana. I purchased this for around $35.
Okay.
Yeah, in Ghana.
Which is about the prices for Paris Corners sometimes.
Yeah, but I know this goes for around 61 in other yes, but in Ghana I got it for around 35. Yes. Yes.
All right, yeah, and the presentation package and everything. And for what you see with Paris Corners, even in other countries where they say it goes for, where she was saying it goes for about 60 something, I'll still say it's a steal, considering that the actual, you know, Afternoon Swim is going to cost you triple that. Okay, now here's a fragrance that has been playing hide and seek with me, right? This is not my bottle, and thanks to Ajwa, she did include this in some of the fragrances that she brought here, because I told her, I said, I ordered this. They sent me a red one, right? They said, okay, fine, we're going to fix that, but I couldn't, return the red one, and I ordered it again, and it just kept on, you know, out of stock. This fragrance, I tried the very time you gave me.
Yeah.
And we've been together now, I'll say this is day number 3. And this was easy for me to decide that this is one Swiss Arabian I can see myself actually wearing without even thinking. It's built around the almond note, and the almond note doesn't make it as obvious. Like when you spray it for the first time, I'd say this is a fragrance that I wouldn't recommend you spray, while you're busy doing something and then make a decision there and there, because it kind of opens up slowly, and then you get the bitter almond, and it's not so much to do with like a woody, very spicy tonka. It's a warm tonka, and I love just the combination in here. I can see some people looking at it as mainstream or something, but it's one of those fragrances, guys, that when you buy, especially Middle Eastern fragrances, there's always that thing behind, your ear there saying, am I going to use it? This, I can see myself buying my own bottle, using it, and even possibly buying another bottle if the price, of course, drops. Because it's a nice fragrance. Yes. I like it. And the naming of it is a bit not offish, because obviously, all these ones, the Shagaf one will have Shagaf Oud. This Oud part should not, throw you off. It's just because it's off the Shagaf Oud line. But it's more to do with a very nice, warm vanilla tonka. Orange, citruses as well. Yeah. Very nice fragrance. This is a 10 over 10. I mean, of the ones that they have been making, this is a 10 over 10. And I like the fact that it's not a washed up DNA. I think that is the other reason why it was easy to fall in love with. It's a DNA that Velvet Tonka by BTK hasn't been overly done. If you are into clones, you know that there's some that you just smell it, you're like, please, now this one is it's refreshing to just have in the collection. So this is an absolute no-brainer, 10 over 10. I would use it. I would repurchase. It's not mine, but I can see the reason why I should absolutely hunt the store down until they can get me the actual thing. Nice one, guys. Swiss Arabian.
And it lasts forever too.
Yes, beautiful fragrance. So that's my third one.
Okay, so my third one is going to be Madawi, the 40th anniversary. I think I've always been raving about this fragrance. I'm not exaggerating, at least to my nose, I always talk about the fact that I love this fragrance. It is quite on the pricey side, but if you want to splash, and create some memories with something quite special, I think the Arabian Oud house is one house that you can look into. They are always running discounts, I know they have a lot of discounts, so you don't have to buy full price, But this one, truly authentic, although it's been compared to the Eva Pura DNA, which I don't really like, it doesn't really remind me of that at all, It is not as musky and that, fruit punchy that I am not really into. This one is going to give you something smooth. It feels
beautiful.
Like silky.
When you handed it over to me, I don't have any fragrance from this house, guys. I don't. And when you handed it over to me, for some reason, I just sprayed it on my arm, because it was one of the fragrances that I really wanted to know what you're always on about, because Ajwa is always on about Arabian Oud and Madawi and Risala, and I just wanted to know what is this fragrance. Guys, don't look at that comparison to Herba Pura. There's something about this particular fragrance that is so intoxicating, beautiful, not pushy, well blended. Everything is in sync. So I can see, how you would put a 10 over 10 on that. Absolutely gorgeous fragrance. And absolutely.
Perfectly unisex too, not overly sweet to the extent that men will find offensive, or ultra feminine.
How did you decide to buy this? Was it something that you smelled offset and you bought it, or you sprayed it and then you started?
So I was in Dubai last year, and then I went to the Arabian shop, their outlets, and then all the fragrances were there, but I was curious about this one. I was even curious about the original Madawi. That was what I was going for. But when I got there, I tried to sample, and then I was like, no, I have to get this one. So I got this one first, and I got the Madawi later, I didn't get it from that shop, but I got this one and then reseller. This one stood out to me, and they were going for the same prices too. I didn't see the reason why this feels like slightly upgraded over the OG Madawi, although they don't smell alike, totally different scent profile, but I guess feel like there's something about this which is much more likable, as compared to the OG, which feels a little complex, you know, to me, and not. I don't think that one is for everyone, but this, I think a lot of people are going to like this one.
It's a gorgeous scent. It's a gorgeous. If you
It's
can
a
look
10
past
over
the
10.
price, this is beautiful.
Very, very beautiful. Okay.
Very nicely done. Okay, so my fourth one is going to be Teriaq. Okay, and I'm not following the hype, guys. I'm not following any hype. I'm not just trying to sound like a broken record. This is a 10 over 10. Now, what I like about this fragrance is it does not distance itself from its creator and the company that asked the creator to create it from. I feel as though it is a representation of two masterpieces, like, Quentin Bish's nose is detectable in this, as well as something that's going to remind you of the Lattafas, but in a crowd-pleasing way. Some are going to say, it slightly gives me, something that I get in camera, but it's not camera. And it's not like that at all. And some are going to compare it to that, La Belle Intense, but it's not. So I like the fact that it looks like there was some thought process behind this collab, because I was thinking, what did they do differently? When I got this for the first time, I was like, and I said, no, what's going on here? Because
Really?
I don't know. I think I was expecting like too much.
I see.
But it was a fragrance that started to communicate with me. I liked how I didn't have to macerate it. I love, if you could see the close-up of the juice, you can see the oil concentration, that it doesn't look watery. It kind of looks thick. So this, I feel, is well made. If at all you are doubting the Lattafas and you just want one in your collection, get this one, as long as you don't have a problem with a leather note. Because what I'm noticing with some people is they'll say, oh, we like that apricot peppy punch and whatever, but then there's a leather. That is the part that I like. I think that's the part that kind of gives it a tease, a Middle Eastern tease, without pushing it, and at the same time that familiarity with the Western fragrances without pushing it. So this is a definite 10 over 10. I love this fragrance. Yes, I love this fragrance. So Teriaq is my fourth one.
Okay, so my fourth one is going to be a fragrance I had a decant of. I just bought the decant, which is going to be Empire Victor by Khadlaj, and after this I had to pick up the full bottle. This is a 10 over 10 to me, and I think my daughter described this perfectly, but she hasn't tried this. She has a full bottle now, but I just want to have her reaction to this. If my nose is right, if I'm not exaggerating, at least I just want to know. To me, it's a 10 over 10.
Oh, I'm so glad I now have this in my collection. This is beautiful. This is vanilla. Oh my God, this is different.
Don't you get something like banana?
Yes.
My daughter said it, and I couldn't take it out of my head. It's like banana, creamy, vanilla, slight oudis, and just a slight funky. It is delicious, like a true essence of a gourmand,
This is beautiful. Oh, guys, this is nice. Oh, no, this is nice. I'm not going to preempt what you have to say about it.
Yes.
It's my first impressions, and it's your 10 over 10. So you explain it.
I've already done the video, so wait for her reaction to her bottle. And I guess I'm curious about the details that you're going to give.
Yes, I can't wait. And already it's just coming across as a rich fragrance. So I think the longevity must be also a 10 over 10.
20 over 10.
Because just when you sprayed it, before I could even put my arm up like that, it's, you can feel when a fragrance has got weight. This is beautiful.
Very, very. Honestly, I'm glad you like it.
I love it.
I can't wait to see your in-depth review about it. So that is going to be Empire Victor from Khadlaj.
Wow. Okay, so the last one is a fragrance that has people on the fence. It's a 50-50, okay, greasy. And it does look like I was favoring Maison Alhambra, but it just so happened that, I picked more Maison Alhambra. Greasy. This fragrance, Ajwa, I was minding my own business in a mall, in a huge department store called Jet. There was this woman who was moving about. And there was this fragrance that she was smelling of, I had to ask her, I said, excuse me, what are you wearing? And she said Gree, because she was wearing the same, like the real thing. And she just said Gree.
That's lovely.
And this fragrance, I said to myself, okay, Gree is a deal fragrance, and obviously that's going to be very expensive, but I think I've seen a Gree something, you know, from the Maison Alhambras, and I decided to say, okay, I'm going to start with the clone. And this clone pushed me to buy the discovery set, because I said, okay, if Dior's private line is like this, I'm going to try all of them. I love this fragrance, guys. I gave it to my daughter to test it, just like you did with Empire Victor. I just wanted to hear her thoughts, and the first thing she said, well, it's mature, and she was right. It does have like a powdery, rosy, mature tone to it, but it's, I don't know, I just love this fragrance. I just love it.
It smells like, you know, violets. I guess something like
there is violet.
Juice,
exactly, there is.
You know, the color of the juice feels like
there is violet and iris.
Yeah, I get that violety, irisy. Yeah, it smells like the juice color.
So this is beautiful, guys. Try it out. Considering the Maison Alhambra prizes, try it out. It's a little bit different from the real thing, you know, because I did get the real thing. The real thing is more richer and less powdery than this, and the real thing is more piercing. And I think that's why that lady's perfume that I'm talking about was all over the place, because it was a cloud. When you talk of a fragrance projecting, that's what I got that day. This does the same, but it's a bit tamed. So I'm not going to mislead you guys and say it's 100 like 101, but you won't be missing much. So this is my 10 over 10 as well, and it's the last one that I have to show you, because guys, there's a lot more. We just had to do this abruptly, and I thought, okay, let me just pick these 5. These are the ones that spoke to me immediately. You know, no negotiation. So I love this one. Beautiful fragrance.
Okay, so my last one is going to be a fragrance that we both have, Eternal Musk by Paris Corner. That is quite a simple, musky, bit lactonic, quite delicious, you know. You might write it off, you know, it might not really speak to you when you just hurriedly test it.
I actually have it here.
Yes, but this fragrance to me, you know, considering the price and what it does for me, it is a 10 over 10. This is phenomenal, you know. Do not write this one off. I don't know why it is not popular here. It's not.
I don't know.
I don't know why.
No, maybe because, you see, from the Middle Eastern houses, a lot of people expect very strong, pungent, in your face, slap in your face kind of fragrances. You're not going to get it from this. And guess what? You got me to go and smell my Juliet Has a Gun when you reviewed this. Because when I reviewed this, I said it smells a lot like Kayali's Musk 12. Because when I sprayed Kayali's Musk 12, they just had the bottle and they looked for I wanted what is it, a 50 ml. They didn't have, they had the bigger one, and my budget was not for the bigger one. But that fragrance lingered and lingered and lingered. So when I did my review, I said Musk 12 by Kayali is what they were going for. And then I watched Ajwa's top 10, and she said Not a Perfume by Juliet Has a Gun. And I have that fragrance, and I sprayed them side by side, and I was like, this is it, you know. Nice one.
But I even prefer this over Juliet, because this one gives me a more gourmand, like a slight gourmand, delicious, and it's like a bit thicker, you know, than a Juliet Has a Gun, you know. So if you want something quite similar but so much, you know, affordable, this is the way to go. That is the way to go.
This is underrated.
Underrated.
This one, very nice fragrance.
So underrated. Yeah. Okay, so that is going to be it for this video. We have lots more to come, so please stay tuned. We are grateful for your subscription. Please do not forget to give each video a thumbs up. We'll be grateful for that, and we hope to see you in our next one. Take care. Bye.